Thank you very much. And I should thank Mr. Stewart for his comment about China. China has made some progress in the past 30 years, but as Chinese, I'm not that confident. As Mr. Stewart said, that China will be something like that. And it will take a long time for China to continue its development. Maybe it will be 100 or 200 years when China really becomes strong. And I have 5 minutes. I used 1 minute already. So if we concentrate on elaborating any of one question, it will take at least 15 minutes or 50 minutes. So I give you a general view of my idea of international situation. In observing international situation, one thing I want to stress that we must see 2 sides, the positive side and negative sides. And nowadays, people talk a lot about negative sides that make our life feel rather complicated and rather harsh. But I think we must see now the world's developing, and people of the world want peace, development, cooperation. That's the general trend. But at the same time, we must recognize that we are facing very severe challenges of all kinds. And Mr. Stewart and my colleagues have mentioned that. I don't want to analyze all these things. One question many people ask, whether the present international system is able to cope with these challenges. I think this is a very important question. As we know that now the present international system was basically formed after the Second World War. More than 30 years have passed, and we witnessed great changes. And I want to call your attention to the several very important changes in the international situation. One, at the end of the Second World War, there were only about a little more than 50 independent states. But now we have about 200 sovereign states. Even those countries are different in size and in strength, but they should be equals. And each one have their own characteristics, and they have their own specific conditions. How to manage the world in such a background? I think that's the first point. 2, so that is to say, differences among countries should be respected, or recognized, or at least tolerated. Second, the traditional pattern power balance is experimenting fundamental changes. Many people say about the weakening of the United States. I wouldn't call that a serious problem because the United States is still the strongest power in the world, still have large influence in the world. But I must recognize one thing, that is with the emergence of a large number of developed countries in Asia, Latin America, and Africa, the world stage dominated by the West powers over the last 100 years will be reshaped gradually. It does not necessarily mean that rivalry or confrontation among the new emerging forces and the old dominant powers. It should be a fair and peaceful share of the shift of strength. Thirdly, along with development globalization, both in width and depth, the interests and responsibility of countries are increasingly interwoven. Any country that tries to put its own interests at the top without consideration of the others will be harmed in the long run by itself. Striving for mutual benefits and win-win result has gradually become the common belief in international cooperation. Fourthly, there is strong consciousness that the world challenge can only be successfully met by the whole world, and nobody can do it alone. No country can do it alone, no matter how powerful it is. Which is such a very complicated arena. It's urgent and important to improve the present international system and make it more fair and rational, so that all countries can share the opportunities and the benefits of development and show its part of responsibility for world peace and common development. That, I believe, requires complete change of the old doctrine of power politics and the introduction of a new thinking in the world affairs. And here, President Jiang Hu Jintao formally put forward the notion of building a harmonious world with a lasting peace and common prosperity at the General Assembly of the United Nations. It embraces a few very important points. Because of time being, I won't elaborate the conception of harmonious world. Thank you very much.